Hey everybody, it's Justin from Bittner Built, and today we have a very special episode. I have been covering the Eufymake E1 for the past few months now, and today I get to show off an all-new accessory that nobody else has. And we're going to be talking with the product director of the E1 to answer all of your most asked questions today on Bittner Built. So this man was the senior engineer on the development of one of the world's most used apps, WeChat. And then 10 years ago, he joined Anchor and worked his way up to leadership roles across product management, design, and development. Since 2023, he has spearheaded Anchor's expansion into the maker hardware space through Eufymake. Please welcome Cheney.
Hi, Justin.
Hey, Cheney, how are you?
Good.
Fantastic. So I know that you're really excited with all of the great new development that your product has had, all of the great response that everybody's been giving to this product. I'm really excited to talk to you today about, all the new things you have in store for us.
Thank you. It is my pleasure.
We'll come right back to Cheney. He's going to answer a ton of your questions about the E1. But first, let's have some fun and jump right into the roll-to-film attachment.
This attachment is still in beta testing, so I'm going to show you a couple cool sneak peek things today. It's not going to be everything. I don't have the soft white ink yet, so I can't show you raised textures on this, but I'm going to print everything CMYK. That will be the fastest and cheapest prints too. Just know that anytime you add raised textures and things, it obviously makes the print a lot longer. But we're going to have a lot of fun and play with a whole bunch of these films.
Inside the box, we have a pair of calipers and a small roll of canvas. And then you have the accessory itself. That's all there is in the box. This is the front where your roll will exit after it's been printed upon. On the right of the unit, there's a small access hatch to replace your cutter at the front of the unit. In the back, there's a magnetic hatch where you place all of your rolled material. There's a green button on the right that slides a tensioner over to hold smaller rolls of film. And there's nothing of note on the left side.
To load, we want to take our material and measure it with the calipers for the width of the material, and then put that into the Eufymake Studio. There is an accessory that slides over, so let's say we have a smaller roll. It can accommodate it by applying pressure over to the left. Everything must be lined up to the left side. I'm going to place the roll inside. I want the nice side of the material to be facing down. This is the side of the material that I don't want to print on. I'm going to pull out a decent amount, and then I'm going to feed it under this black roller, and then up to the next roller. I want to make sure that my material is under this tab and is touching this black piece of metal that's on the side right here, so that I know that my material is lined up. At the front of the attachment, we want about 2 centimeters or a little bit under an inch to be sticking out. Now that the material's in place, I'm going to hold it down. I'm going to lock down each one of the rollers. There are 4 locks here, and that keeps everything in place. To install the accessory, I lift it up, place it onto its platform, and then click over the lock button, and it's ready to go.
Before I show you some of the stuff I made, let's go ahead and answer some questions. I'm printing a skateboard deck right now. I did some things for a ski wrap. I made a coffee shop window sign right here. There's a whole bunch of things that you can make with this. The material that you put through the machine, you don't have to use Eufymakes. You can use whatever material you want to put through. Obviously, you're going to have to test it. You can trust that Eufymake stuff is going to work well. The rolls that are accepted, there is no internal core minimum on this. There's no like rod or anything that goes in there. You just place the roll in the back of the machine. So any internal diameter is fine. It's 12 inches to 4 inches. So you can have a very skinny little roll in there if you wanted to as well. The materials that I have a canvas that I was provided. So it has a brown on the back, has a very bleached white on the front. I have a sticker material, a vinyl sticker material. So this one is actually the same skateboard deck on a test that I did. And so it has a thick cardstock on the back, is a gray sticky adhesive in the back. I then have a clear window cling film, which is what I made that coffee sign out of. So on this one, I'm trying to show you, you know, very vibrant colors. But on the actual peel side, super vibrant, glassy colors. So I have the full print of this that you'll see on a window. Also, just remarking on the vibrancy, this image right here, very, very poppy colors. And then I received a clear holographic type of film that has like a rainbow inside of it. And this is a two-part film as well that has an adhesive backing on it. So you cannot do DTF prints with the roll-to-film accessory like you do on the bed. So when we use that material, it's basically like paper with glue on it. And so if you stuck your hand to it, it would be sticking to your hand. We then print on top of it, and then that's why we run it through the laminator, because then it puts a film on top for you to transfer it to something else. So here, if I put that sticky glue paper through here, it would just get stuck to all the rollers. So it just doesn't work. So on this, we have, you know, sticker paper, but you do have to cut things out. There is a linear cutter on the front of this. So in the software, I can add as many cut lines wherever and however I want to. For example, I did a 1-foot print sheet of my stickers for my logo, and I had it cut every single one of these. That way I could just stack it up, put it in the paper cutter, and chop them into pieces. You could also put this into a plotter, so like a Cricut, that will then go and cut everything out. For that type of functionality, you need a knife that's able to swivel and move. This is only a stable knife that goes back and forth. Everything that you see in this sneak peek is printed CMYK only. I have not used white at all. Now, when you use this accessory, you need to use soft white ink, but they are going to enable it in the software where if you don't have this soft white ink, you still can just print CMYK, and you can get really far with that, especially if you're using like a white substrate. The swapping of the hard and the soft white inks uses a lot of cleaning in order to get that soft ink out of the machine. You know, it's one of those things where it's a negative, but it's a positive too, because they have to keep this machine clean, or else you're going to have expensive repairs. Your machine's going to break. So, you know, it's one of those, I keep referring to all the cleaning stuff with this machine as, you know, it's a necessary evil type of thing. If you want your machine to work right, you have to use cleaning solution to get everything clean in there.
A great feature in the software is the ability to cut my image into multiple panels. So if I wanted to cut this into threes, I just hit that. Now all three pieces are separated, and I can rescale them to the width of the sheet here. For this particular one, I'm going to split it into 2 panels, so I can use the customize section. I'm going to say I want it 1 by 2. Hit OK. Now it's split into 2 pieces. So now what I'll do is I'll expand this one to be its full size. I'll elongate my canvas to 1600. Now I'll take my second piece and elongate it to its full size. That way I can just hit print once and it's going to print both of them. I'm going to add a cut in here and put it right in between both pieces and put them right next to each other. And then a cut at the end.
Next up, I have a pair of custom skis that I've been making. I did the first one already and it came out pretty good. The next one, what you need to know about doing anything with a film is you first need to spray down that surface with a water bottle. You want the water on there, even if it's going to be a glass film transfer. So if you're going to put it up on a piece of glass, spray it with water first. Use a squeegee, that way you can scrape out all the air bubbles, all the water. It's going to give you a lot of play with positioning and make sure that you don't get those air bubbles. Here my son Owen is holding 2 6-foot tall skis. These are wrapped with vinyl sticker. This is a large print, so I had to blow up my image quite a bit. So it is an accurate print to the quality of the image that I used in this print. 3 2.5-foot canvases. I used spray glue to attach them to boards before hanging them up on the wall. The color quality is great. Everything's accurate to the photos that are on here. Here's a close-up of the quality, and you can see that it is canvas, so you have that texture in there. But even zoomed in, we have a really good image there, and zoomed out, it even looks better. Here we printed a stained glass master sword. It is on polymer film. This film is easy to take on and off without leaving residue. It's safe for putting it on paint and cars, for example. This is the close-up of the glass side. You can see that everything's very glossy on this side. And when I flip it over, you see that this is more of a matte side. This is where the ink was actually sprayed on top of. I printed an Athena card to this holographic film here, and you'll see that it's very boxy where these holographic images are. You might want to take that into account in your designs if you were to use this film. It's specific to this one. Here's a close-up view of it, and you can see how it emanates from a central point in the middle. But overall, the graphics look very good, even though it was on draft quality. The adhesive on this one is much stronger than the other film. It will leave a residue on acrylic specifically. It likes to adhere to acrylic. So make sure you use that water and squeegee method when you're applying this so that you don't get any bubbles. 5-foot-tall coffee shop sign. It's actually hard to get a picture. It's so large here. This was actually a really fast print. It was on draft and it came out of pretty good quality. And here's that skateboard deck that we were printing throughout the video. I think it came out really vibrant, really nice on the bottom. The print quality matches the imagery that we had in the software, and it's very crisp. Well, that was our first look at the roll-to-film attachment. Obviously, we didn't get to cover everything, so I will put out more content on this as I can. We kind of rushed to get this out for you because we wanted to get it out before the Kickstarter ended. I've only had it for 2 days, so I think I printed a decent amount of stuff for 2 days, including having to apply it to things and stuff like that. So it's an interesting accessory. It might be for you, it might not, but overall what it does is it adds capability, it adds functionality to this machine that maybe you never had access to before. So that's always really cool. Let's go back to Cheney now. He has been gracious enough to answer a ton of my questions from a whole bunch of ranging things about the company, about the product, about services. He doesn't give away the secrets to the company. You're not going to get everything, but there are definitely things that he's going to answer that you have never heard the answer to before. Here's Cheney.
So Cheney, how much time does it take to print 1 meter or 3.28 feet CMYK only? And what about when you do a 3D texture print?
The printing speed is 300 millimeters per second, and the time to print 300 millimeters by 1 millimeters is about 1.5 hours. The maximum 3D texture height for this roll-to-fill attachment is 1 millimeter. Printing 3D texture will take longer depending on the height of the print.
Okay. Yeah, so, as I've shown in some of my other videos, the height of the print, you're really adding a lot of time there, but you do add a lot of impact. So you have to kind of gauge if you want to do that based on, your client that you have or, what you're trying to achieve, if it's worth it for you or not. Will the flexible white ink be easily swappable with the neutral ink? So will that just require cleaning, flushing the lines in between the cartridge swap?
Yes, you can just replace the ink cartridge, and the Jetclean system will automatically clean it, but this process may waste some ink.
There's going to be a lot more to come on the roll-to-film attachment in the coming days. I, of course, will be putting out some more content on it and a final review once it's all finalized for you guys. Let's move back in time a little bit. What breakthrough happened that made your team decide that a consumer UV printer was a good choice to bring to market?
At Eufymake, we aspire to build a creative playground, bringing intelligent making to millions of households and empowering makers with innovative tools to unleash their creativity, build their own business success, and enrich their lives. As you know, UV printing technology has been around for decades, but it shouldn't be limited to industrial factories. We believe it belongs in the hands of everyday makers. You know, traditional UV printer are very large and difficult to use and very expensive. Eufymake combines its past technology accumulation in the field of 3D printing to solve these issues and realize the Eufymake E1.
Awesome. Well, gauging by the success of the Kickstarter, and it's over 35 million in 13 days, with 13 days to go, I think you made all the right decisions here. People are very excited for this product. Were you surprised by the incredible interest? And for you, was the Kickstarter just a gauge to judge interest and how much manufacturing you guys should do?
Thank you. The result of our Kickstarter campaign really exceeding our expectations. We chose to release Eufymake E1 on Kickstarter because it has a large number of makers who are willing to try innovative technologies. For example, creative tools such as 3D printer and laser cutter have very good crowdfunding result on Kickstarter as well.
So, given the success so far, has the company decided to allocate more resources towards this area based on how successful this has been? And are there already additional products in the pipeline beyond just the E1?
Anchor has invested a lot of resources in Eufymake. We have hundreds of engineers and will increase investment in the future. Eufymake will not only have one product, but also more innovative products will be released soon. So stay tuned.
Okay. No specifics on any of that stuff?
No.
Okay. I watched the machine assembly video that came out a few days ago. I have to say that the scale of the factory, the technology, and above all, the level of quality control in this machine's manufacture was impressive to see. How long did it take to establish that whole manufacturing process? And is the final hardware version of the machine locked in and in production right now? What do you currently see as the anticipated delivery date of the E1?
We have always attached great importance to product quality. So we select the first class manufacturing partners and invested a lot of resources in quality control. Now the printer is undergoing final quality inspection and expected to start production and delivery in July.
Oh, okay, great. So it is going to be in July. A lot of people will be excited to hear that. Will spare parts be available for purchase in addition to the print module? For people running this machine to make money, having spare parts on hand means no downtime, and that's very important.
We know that many users will buy Eufymake E1 to run their small business. So we will provide 24/7 after-sales service, including telephone service, live chat, email, and the Discord after-sales service channels. We will also provide a varieties of repair accessories which user can purchase through the Eufymake official website.
So let's talk ink costs then. The ink in the 100 milliliter cartridge form isn't out of the range of other inks. It's about 43 cents per milliliter, but it is on the higher end. Do you anticipate this cartridge to stay relatively priced the same, or will it lower over time? And do you have any idea about the cost and when the larger continuous ink module will be available?
This is a good question. Actually, the price difference of UV ink on the market is very large. Low quality inks can easily cause the print head clogging and even safety problems. The ink chosen by Eufymake is high quality with the same quality and price as Roland and the mid-market. This ink is the best match for the Eufymake E1 printhead. In addition, Eufymake In has also passed the Green Guard Gold certification, which is the highest level of safety certification. However, we totally understand users' concern about the cost of the in-use, so we have developed a series of cost-down plans. First, we will reduce the amount of the in-use by improving the 3D texture algorithm. Second, we will launch the in subscriptions where users can enjoy about 20% discount. And the third, we will develop a large capacity ink supply system to reduce the cost of the in-use by half, which is a very good choice for users who use it frequently. But about the price, since this accessory is still under development, so the price cannot be determined yet.
The machine comes in itself at an incredibly affordable price compared to its industrial counterparts by a huge margin. Are you approaching this industry where you sell the machine at a loss or a minimal profit and then you're making the profit on the ink?
Yes. This is a common business practice in the industry. This business model can reduce the initial purchase cost and allow more users to experience our innovative machines. In addition, more users using the machine will be more conducive to reducing costs in the supply chain. And I believe that as the user scale increases, the cost of the machines, inks, and the substrates will become lower and lower in the future.
Yeah, a lot of people, they reference that. And honestly, I would much rather have a $1,600 or $2,400 printer than a $5,000 printer if you were trying to make the money up front. So I'm personally very happy with, making the money on the ink end. Well, we're still in the beta software right now, and so the software has been providing an estimated use amount that has been what I've been basing my data on in my videos as far as how much ink it's using. Will there be an actual used after the prints are complete so that we can have a very accurate way to track the real world usage? And will the ink cartridge percentages also be added to the software soon?
The new ink estimation model will be updated soon, which will be more accurate. But since it is difficult for software to achieve accurate statistics, there will still be a deviation about 10%. But we will use a hardware solution to detect actual ink usage in the accessories of the large capacity ink supply system.
Okay, so the large capacity one will have greater accuracy with that. Gotcha.
Yeah.
The Jetclean system is a really nice accessory for this item to be a consumer-oriented machine. Can you explain to somebody who's new to UV printing why this is a critical part of your design?
Since the nozzle of the printhead is very, very small, with a diameter of only about 20 micrometers, impurities in the ink or the later solidification of the residual ink in the printhead will cause the printhead to be clogged. In the past, when the printhead was clogged, it needed to be manually cleaned and repaired by professionals, which was a nightmare for home users. So this was listed as the primary task to be solved by Eufymake. Eufymake strictly controls the impurities in the ink to reduce the risk of the printhead clogging. In addition, when the machine is in normal use, it needs to power on. It will perform fresh spraying in regular intervals to keep the nozzle moist. When the machine is not used for more than 24 hours, the Jetclean system will automatically clean the printhead and enter the maintenance state. So that even if the user go away for a few months and then come back, the machine will be okay. It will not be clogged. Eufymake will open the maintenance strategy settings, and the user can setting the printing schedule, and also if they want to go to vacation and just enter the vacation mode, and it is the machine will be easily to enter the maintenance state. So I think the user can control it by themselves.
So based on, the user, they're going to be able to go in the future and change the settings to kind of better fit what their schedule is. That's good to hear. Currently, the cleaning cartridges support 9 full cleanings or 2 months of continuous running. Is this the final fact, or are there any optimizations that can be made to extend this?
The new cleaning solution will be released soon. It will support up to 12 cleanings, and our engineers are still optimizing it. Additionally, the large capacity in the supply system will provide a large capacity cleaning cartridge.
Oh, so you have increased the amount of time that you can use this cartridge to 12 now by, I guess, reducing the amount of fluid that's used during that cleaning process. That's awesome. So that would actually extend out a little bit the use case of this. And it's really great to hear that you're going to have a expanded cleaning cartridge solution with the larger ink capacity system. That's going to be some really good information when you can disclose the rest of that. On the printhead module, you had stated a replacement is $599 and the Eufymake Care is $399, which provides one replacement head and a 30% discount for any additional heads after that time during 1 year. If someone purchases Eufymake Care and they want to buy a spare printhead module to keep on hand, would they be able to do so with the 30% discount? And how is the replacement process handled? Does the new module ship out as soon as somebody reports that it's broken, or only after they've shipped it back to you and then you ship out the new one? Some users might be concerned about potential downtime, and also not all areas that the E1 is being shipped to have Eufymake Care available to them. So what would be the reason that they don't have access to that?
Your understanding is right. If users purchase Eufymake Care, they can buy printhead at a 30% discount. The replacement process is really simple, and we will send a new printhead to the user first, and then user send the old printhead back to the Eufymake. Some areas are still building repair centers. We anticipate Eufymake Care service will cover all sales areas by the end of this year.
On the software, currently I see that the software is very layout focused and reliant on AI from a creation standpoint. I can tell this is focused on the basic user who may not have experience with editing programs like Photoshop or Illustrator. And that's actually a good thing. But for the more experienced users, do you see additional editing tools being added to the software to make it both a full creation and layout platform?
The purpose of Eufymake software is to redefine the creative printing workflow through AI. For example, the design of 3D texture used to require professional design. By but Eufymake can generate with one-click through AI the size measurement of printed objects used to require manual measurement. But Eufymake can complete automatic measurement through dual lasers and AI camera. Eufymake will not be a complex design software like Photoshop, but it will support their file formats such as PSD and SVG.
Are there any software features that are not present right now that will be added prior to launch?
Eufymake software will continue to be updated. Official model, there are a lot of features under development, such as offline mode, content recognition, and autofill.
So, moving on to some future stuff, when will we be able to get pricing on all of the different accessories and production materials?
When the crowdfunding campaign ends, the official website will begin pre-order and will announce the price.
I've seen the pre-treat adhesion promoter for glass online, and it's very expensive. Do you have a price and an anticipated release date for the Eufymake branded adhesion promoter?
The pre-treated adhesion promoter is now in beta testing and expected to be available in Q3. The price has not yet been determined, but it will not be expensive.
Oh, well, I like the last part of that one big time, so that's good. Okay. How about the air purification system that was announced? Can you tell us when that'll be available and how it's actually going to be implemented for the machine?
Yeah, we are currently developing a new air purification system and a large capacity ink supply system, which are expected to be available in Q1 of 2026.
All right, well, lastly, with such an amazing Kickstarter performance, I can imagine that there will be many copycat competitors rushing out in the next year. How will you maintain your lead and provide superior products over these companies?
You know, we don't see competition as a challenge. In fact, we see it as an opportunity. We believe that healthy competition will help promote the industry's development. Eufymake has always been on the road of extreme innovation with its users. With Eufymake E1, for example, we have over 100 power users and content creators, just like you, helping shape the product from very start. We are really excited to keep this spirit of cooperation and continue working with makers to bring innovative products to life.
Cheney, I just want to thank you so much for talking with me today. I want to congratulate all of your team as well. This product for me, I'm not in the printing space as much. I'm a maker, but I didn't have anything like this before, and I've been really pleasantly surprised with just the amount of opportunity this has brought to the different types of creations that I make. I know there's so many people waiting to get their hands on this machine, and I'm really excited to see the great things that they're going to be able to make with this as well.
It is my pleasure. Thank you, Justin.
Thank you so much again to Cheney and the team for answering some questions for us. Hopefully I got you some answers that maybe you didn't have before. And of course, I hope you enjoyed seeing a little bit of the roll-to-film attachment here. There is still 1 day left at the lowest discount on the Kickstarter. So today's the 21st when I put this video out. The evening of the 22nd, the price on this machine goes up. So if you haven't reserved yours, if it's something you're interested in, get it while the price is cheaper. I do have an affiliate code down below. Of course, I always appreciate if I earned your click on that. It gives me a little commission from the company. One last thing, though, that I really kind of wanted to say about this. This machine, and why I've made several videos on it and why I'm going to continue to making more videos on it, This really feels to me like when 3D printers were first introduced, and it opened up a world of opportunities for a lot of people to be able to create things. Industrial printers in UV are $20, $80, $100,000, and that's a car. I mean, for me, in my wood shop here, I have lasers and 3D printers and CNC, and I do woodworking and all sorts of maker stuff. But I wouldn't go spend that amount of money to add that functionality in here. But at this price, this brings capability to me. It might not be as fast printing as those $80,000 machines, but I can actually do things. I've never been able to print a banner before. I've never been able to do a lot of the stuff that this machine is capable of doing. That's why I've had so much fun with it the past 3 months. My wife came out yesterday and was like, hey, print me a number line. She's a teacher for her classroom. No problem. Like, I can do it. So that's what this really does. And that's what's exciting about this. That's why I'm really excited to see what comes next, because it's giving a lot of people that ability that you didn't have before to be able to make some really cool stuff. So I hope if you got a lot of good content out of this video, you'll hit like and subscribe. That's what really helps me out, and you'll see when I put out more videos on the E1. As always, stay safe in the shop, and I'll see you in the next one.